Okay, great, so it's finally here, which is, freaked out, and I'm really glad to get this. The box of DPW, Dirty Pat Walsh's tapes that I have eagerly and meaningfully purchased. These are my big Taiwanese scissors, which I use for cutting up important things. It's good to see the handwritten Kurt, my goodness, cassette audio tapes. I mean, Mirkwood recordings on here. The city is Pitcairn and the state PA. Well, we British, we know nothing of American states. We did once, but they sorted that out and decided to go their own way, so that might as well be how it goes. I'm really hoping that I can slice myself up with these big scissors. I was cutting up a pineapple on the island of Phuket. No, I tell a lie, it was a coconut. And if you cut up too many coconuts, you're going to snap the point of the scissors. These are shears, right now. Getting closer and closer to enlightenment. These are still very sharp. I could just slice through the whole side if I wished, but it doesn't hurt to take the path of least resistance. Okay, great. So this has been meaningfully packed up. Okay, great. Okay, wonderful. The excitement is building. Nicely bubble wrapped. Don't want to take any chances. And okay, here they are. My beauties. It's going to be like just a second. See if we can't create a little Dirty Pat Walsh shrine, like Easter Island. That album that, well, anyway, let's see how it goes. That album that Lou Reed did with John Cale for Andy Warhol, when Andy Warhol passed away. They were singing that song. I think images are worth repeating and repeating and repeating. I think images are worth repeating. Dirty Pat Walsh, Easter Island, right here. So 1 is for me, and 4 are for 4 worthy Osaka residents, and I'll just pass them to them by hand. Well, I'm going to attempt a very, very brief album review now. There's 2 albums here. They're free to download, and I urge anyone who has even an ounce of sense to get onto Bandcamp, listen to At Midnight Call the Doctor and Corey Darling Corey. It's Mr. Patrick Walsh's very valuable, it's in a spiritual way, albums. Very well. At Midnight Call the Doctor is an earlier album. It's an instrumental which finishes the album. Corey Darling Corey is the most recent release. Now, these albums are similar in some ways. I perhaps sense a little progression. They're acoustic. And there's lots of blues covers. I was kind of hoping that there'd be just a second, let me get my shears. Okay, great. Okay, great. Maybe I can just come in via the side there. Okay, beautiful. Slice through the cellophane and not my own skin. Let's see if we can't get a... Okay. Blue cassette tape, man, that's... If this was vinyl, if this was blue vinyl, you know, vinyl heads would be freaking out. I'm not really a tape head unless it's actually stuck to my head. Tape balancer. Okay. Can't keep it up for too long. Okay, and here at last the set list for all to see. Side A, At Midnight Called the Doctor. Poor boy, in my time of dying, worried life, blues, love in vain. Oh Lord, search my heart. Burn in hell, spoonful. Poltergeist box, he's a mighty good leader. At Midnight Called the Doctor. Okay, and here's the specs. Vocal, slide, cigar box guitar, 6-string guitar, Dirty Pat Walsh, recorded early 27, cover art by Ben Amond. That's really nice, great work by Mr. Amond there. These are acoustic, old-time blues covers. Did he sneak an original in there, Mr. Walsh? Poltergeist box is a freaked-out instrumental, and I mean, I love the old blues, but I think it's one of my favourite numbers on there just because it's so unusual. And who knows, maybe it's got lyrics too. Maybe it's not an instrumental. Maybe the lyrics are simply inaudible to me in this plane of being. Then side B, the most recent release, Corey, Darling Corey. Go ye forth and preach my gospel, shake that little foot. Highway Blues, Bone Daddy's Shack. I mean, a big shout out to Bone Daddy. Legba's Waltz is the track which really reverberates in my mind of his. My Resting Place, Rosie Moonshiner Blues, Viola Lee Blues, Keep Your Skillet Good and Greasy, Corey, Darling Corey, and another instrumental, tremolo harmonica key of C major. It says here, cover art by Jen Joyce. Unfortunately, I believe the cover art, it kind of looks like, what do you call those things? Not a coleocanth, not an amethyst. One of those fossils, like an ammonite, yeah. It's a kind of creamy colour. But, I mean, I'm not missing it at all. I mean, I love my little Pat Walsh Easter Islands there. It's what civilization created this, and where did they go? And where did this giant pair of shears come from? Man, I think if I can observe one thing, I think Corey, Darling Corey, seems to perhaps rock a little bit harder than At Midnight Calls the Doctor. I don't know. Shake That Little Foot begins off acoustic, and then you've got the harmonica coming in. And man, that's really great. It's if a harmonica could possibly be a 4-piece rock band, then that's how I think it would sound. Keep Your Skillet Good and Greasy. That's another favourite, I guess, off this one. So what else is there to say? I mean, I've heard it, but words cannot really describe sound, I'm saying. You know, if I got the last 5, then okay, great. And 1 is for me, 4 for my friends. I'm hoping one day I'm going to meet Mr. Walsh in person and, you know, get it signed right up his cheek. And that'd be a freak ass, I'm sure. But, you know, who knows? Maybe there'll be another run. And I'd like to see that. And, you know, it's all generally been a good trip. So let's close this down before the 10-minute mark or just after it. This is Kawashi. And indeed, Kawasai, Kawashu. From the Pat Walsh Island with Meth End Blues. At midnight calls the doctor. And Corey, darling Corey. Out. We are out. This is done. Sitting, waiting, wondering when my package is gonna come. Sitting, waiting, wondering when my package is gonna come.